bodkin, preparing himself for this exercise which requires strength, swing and flight. Very difficult combination there to start the routine. It's a very tall gymnast from Canada. Moving out to the side of the parallel bars. Presses the handstand on one bar. Back somersault to handstand. Followed by another back somersault. Followed by a double tuck somersault out. And just a slight step back on landing. Very good exercise. Slight slackening of the legs during the exercise, and here we see the complicated mount. Works his way into the middle of the bars, swinging, straddle, back to handstand, followed by a Healy turn, back up to handstand, another Healy turn, but lets the body tension go, works his way to the side of the parallel bars, and there's his final score, a 9.5. And the next competitor up for China, Li Ji. Back clip to handstand from a kip, followed by a long swing, full turn, very difficult movement there. Further long swing. A stutz to into the middle, a back change, swing to handstand, showing good flight, and there's a very difficult 1.5 somersaults in the middle of the parallel bars. Swing to handstand and a double somersault out in the tuck position. Just stepping back on landing, but a very fine exercise, complicated, lots of difficulty, and there we see the very fine 1.5 forward somersaults in the middle of the bars. Continues swinging to handstand, and there's his score of 9.70. Very high score for the Chinese gymnast. And the next competitor from Korea is Ju Young-sun. Kip back clip to handstand. Long swing half turn, followed by a long swing ginger. Slight adjustment, pressing the handstand. A Healy turn to half lever, very difficult combination. Presses to handstand. Swings down and half change back to handstand. And again, followed by a very fine double somersault out, but just stepping forward slightly on landing. Very good exercise from these top gymnasts here in Samjeng, the Pacific Alliance competition, as we watch the slight mistake of the Korean gymnast doing some complicated work, and there's his score, a 9.40 for his parallel bar routine. And next up from USA is Chris Lance, starting his exercise from the side of the parallel bars. Jumps, very difficult start there, jump to planche, press to handstand. Somersault underneath the bars, back to handstand, followed by Diamidov, a Healy turn to half lever. Presses to handstand again, showing some good control. and finishing with a double pike somersault, very difficult dismount, and lands it standing perfectly still. Well pleased about that, big smile on his face. Good parallel bar exercise from this young American. And there we see the Diamondov turn, an uprise, swings back to handstand, straight into a Healy turn, and finishing with a half lever. There's his score, a 9.50, and the next one up is Holdsworth from USA, and here's Curtis Holdsworth doing a very fine Thomas flares on the end of the bars, swings into the middle with a half turn to handstand, swings down, half turn to handstand again, Healy turn to half lever, presses to handstand, preparing himself for his finish, another further half turn, and a very fine tuck somersault out, but doesn't quite make the landing and has to adjust to finish his exercise. And there's them very fine, difficult Thomas flares on the end of the bars to planche position. Somersault underneath the bars to kip, swing to handstand, immediate half turn. And there's his score, a 9.3. He'll be disappointed with that score, not as high as he probably hoped. And the next gymnast up from China is Jiang Wei. Pretty fine mount there, back clip straight to handstand. Swings to the middle, 1.5 somersaults, very difficult movement there. Showing good flight and swing. A further 1.5 back somersaults in between the bars. Presses to handstand. Swing to half turn, and a further swing to half turn to handstand. And a very fine, neat tuck somersault, double somersault to finish. Very happy, a big smile on his face. Jiang Wei finished his parallel bar routine, and here we see the very difficult 1.5 somersaults in the tuck position in between the bars. Very good exercise from this young Chinese gymnast. Very beautiful 1.5 back somersault, clips to half lever, and a high score of 9.70. And next up from Japan is Kai Maijai, starting his exercise in the middle of the bars. Somersault to immediate clips, turning and handstand, further turn, followed by a very difficult combination which gets him into slight trouble there, hitting the bars with his legs, but manages to maintain the momentum to continue his exercise. Presses to handstand, good style. Swing and half turn to handstand, followed by immediate double back somersault in the tuck position to land still, finishing his exercise. A little disappointed there. Very difficult combination in the middle there, which didn't come off quite as he expected. And here we see it again, just catching his legs on the parallel bars, which will cost him points in his final score. And there's his score, a 9.2, so obviously losing some tenths of a point there for his touching the parallel bars. And there's the final result. Li Jing of China, the gold